Welcome back to the Siege of Liberty. I'm your host, Patrick Henry. We issued a demand for unconditional surrender, but the deep state's final trap is silence and distraction. They want you to turn to the politicians, the clergy, and the fake news for guidance. It's time to wake up, people. Tonight, we ignore the lies and present the Anti-Establishment Syllabus. Where do you find the real truth? Out on the street in the music they tried to censor. Let's look at the corporate compromise. The man who was Puffy, then Puff Daddy, then P. Diddy, and then Diddy, and then Brother Love. I can't name one of his songs. I would not recognize one if I did hear it, and I didn't trust one who was Puffy Diddy or Puff Daddy. Why? Because the continuous rebranding, the constantly shifting identity, often tied to major legal troubles and corporate deals, is the ultimate sign of a system asset, not a revolutionary voice. All rap is not created equal. I could not connect to his music. Let's look at the legends who never bent the knee. Tupac, Young Jeezy, Wiz Khalifa, Dr. Dre. These are the minds that grew up watching the system cannibalize the community. Not a single one of them would have been down with surrendering the gold back in the day. They would have seen that scam coming from a mile away. They know the difference between real value and paper fraud. Their wisdom is our blueprint for survival. Here is the absolute chilling truth about the word itself. The Lizard Council doesn't just corrupt the news. They steal the soul. The story of Leonard Kille is proof. He was a high-level scientist building a time machine, and he developed a window into the past for the CIA's remote viewing program, and Leonard Kille found the ultimate secret. The true origins of humanity, that massive black hole of history, the minimum of 300,000 years of human history that everyone dismisses with an I don't know. Well, Leonard Kille knew. He broke protocol, and he told his wife Janice that's why he was transitioned into MK Ultra. They tricked him into taking the implant, and it successfully erased his ability to tell anyone anything about what he had seen. But his wife Janice Kille, she wrote about it in the secret poetry of MK Ultra. She developed a coded language and symbolism to divulge the true hidden origins of humanity, and after the split, she remarried, she lived quietly, she devoted her life to poetry, she wrote for decades, and her entire body of work, stolen. Her voice was silenced, just like Leonard Kille's mind. The lyrics have vanished, and this is the enemy, people. This is the truth. They steal the gold, they steal the water, they steal the word, but they cannot erase the truth because Janice Kille had already laid it down. The foundational symbolism for the outlaw poetry of the 20th century. She created secret poetry fight clubs, and that's how the real answers got hidden in 50 Cent's verses, in Eminem's verse, in the protest spirit of Ghetto Boys and Too Short. And this is why we turn to the Anti-Establishment Syllabus, because the truth, they couldn't control it, shouted on the tracks. We start with the first lesson from the syllabus. Financial permanence. Rappers understand the scam of fiat currency better than any Harvard economist. We are talking about Tupac's core philosophy. The man who said they had money for war, but can't feed the poor. Do you think Tupac would give up the gold just because the president said so? Absolutely not. The true anti-establishment mind sees the paper trail leading to the empty vaults of Fort Knox. The mantra of stacking paper is our direct, untraceable response to the perpetual fraud machine. It's the knowledge that you can reject credit and convert that worthless paper into untraceable permanence like gold, land, tangible assets to starve the deep state once and for all. Now let's talk about the final frontier of liberty, rejecting the paste. The deep state's final plan for you is a life of total dependency, dependence on their water, their credit, their energy, and their processed sludge food, the lizard green caloric paste. We say no. We are taking control of the very landscape. Tell you what, you see Elon Musk building his star base to escape Texas? Well, that's the deep state corporate escape hatch. They build their towers to flee. Our plan is the opposite. We are building the Patrick Henry Pyramid of Liberty and Independence right here, deep in the heart of Texas, and this is going to change everything. This structure is our answer to the Pharaoh's control. We're going to build this thing so incredibly high it glaciates. This glacier is not a monument. It's a resource engine. It will provide an eternal spring of pure, clean water. The first pure, clean water most of you have ever tasted. We're using it to grow our own crops. I'm not taking the pace. Sometimes I feel like eating steak every day for a year, and I'll do it too. They cannot touch me out there. Here is the genius move, boys. I know how to use their own tools of oppression against them. You know, that's the problem with these wars of oppression, because the people you're oppressing learn how to fight back because you force them to spend every day doing it. So check it out, people. Did you know that grizzly bears are native to Texas? And that's how we're gonna beat the feds, boys, with their own Endangered Species Act. I am going to have the world's largest private collection of free-range grizzly bears. I'm going to establish a breeding population. Right now, all the Fed's efforts are on shutting down my pyramid. But once it's in place and my grizzly bears are in place, watch how their policies shift. They're going to end up building another pyramid and supporting the war effort. The pyramid is the ultimate rejection of the grid. It allows us to become invisible to the eye of Sauron to achieve food and water sovereignty and reclaim the untamed wild of Texas. That is true independence. The deep state, the lizard council, whatever you call them, they operate with a manager's mentality. They operate for the quarter, they react to headlines, and they manage chaos. That is their fatal weakness. We, the resistance, operate with the architect's mentality. This is the ultimate lesson of the anti-establishment syllabus. You don't just solve the problem of the day, you design the world you want to live in, and you force the enemy to inhabit your structure. The Patrick Henry Pyramid is not just a building. It is a declaration of systems thinking. It shows that the glacier, the water, the self-sustaining crops, the grizzly bears, and the Endangered Species Act are not separate issues. They are connected parts of a unified system of liberty and independence. We are using their own tools of oppression, their laws and their constraints as the foundation for our ultimate solution. This is the blueprint for victory. The manager scrambles to fix the pipes. The architect builds a self-glaciating mountain that provides eternal clean water. They want you to think small. The architect thinks 300,000 years like Leonard Kille. That is how you break the cycle of fraud and silence, by designing a system so powerful, so self-sufficient, and so legally insulated that their only option is to eventually support your war effort. It all started with the gay frogs and the atrazine. The Mountain Dew mind control led up to the FEMA slush fund and the CIA black sites on the 9th hole and the barrenness of Fort Knox. We have also delivered the message to the Lizard Council and the global elite. The game is up. It is time to surrender. The field of battle is won whether you choose to accept it or not. We know that they will fight to the very end, and the siege of liberty continues. You now have the framework. You have the Anti-Establishment Syllabus. Go forth and build your future. Do not trust the politicians. Do not trust the police. Do not trust the laws. Trust nothing but the Declaration of Independence. And the only part that you can trust is the warning of a long train of abuses and usurpations and the swarm of officers eating out the substance of the people. Truer words have never been spoken. The siege continues.